Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And you know what? Whenever I mention municipal elections and modernizing, which is what this Act is about, people talk to me about electronic voting, and nobody has really addressed that yet. And I think that some cities, such as the City of Markham, which my riding, part of it is in the City of Markham, has electronic voting, whereas the City of Vaughan doesn't. And that's very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, for a lot of people in the City of Vaughan don't make it home on time to vote and aren't able or don't realize that they can vote in advance or other ways. In terms of ranked ballots, there's been a lot of discussion of ranked ballots, and as my colleague mentioned, there's a lot of different systems which aren't being addressed here. And as somebody who went through a recount, it concerns me a tiny bit how we would be able to manage recounts in a ranked ballot system. Obviously, there is a lot of campaign fatigue. People do want shorter campaigns, and there's a lot of support for that. And I would just mention that in the riding of Thornhill, we used to have an MP and an MPP whose first names were both Peter, and a lot of times the voters would get very confused about that, and we would just say, of course, just vote for whichever Peter you want, as long as their name is Peter. We aren't really addressing the fact of the York Region Chair, and I'm really disappointed about that, because the voters in York Region do want the chair position to be an elected position for the most part, and that bill seems to is being stalled by the government, and it's a government bill, so I don't really understand that, and the member is here. Maybe he can address that later when he has a couple of minutes. It is all about democracy, Mr. Speaker, and I think that electing the chair of York Region would make York Region more democratic. The copies of the voters list makes people very nervous when they hear that there's multiple circulations of the voters list. Maybe that again could be modernized by having it only online, accessible, and then people are blocked off and they cannot possibly download it. Maybe that technology is getting there. Thank you for allowing me to share my comments, Mr. Speaker.
One of the four